Perfect. Perfect.
All right, everybody, what's going on? And welcome to today's edition of SWAC Talk. Of course, this is the show we cover the SWAC inside and out, and I'm your tour guide around the SWAC. C. Wells coming at you. And today, we're gonna talk about MEAC and SWAC, man. We're gonna talk about the matchup and the numbers, basically the series numbers between the MEAC and the SWAC, and it ain't pretty. So we're gonna talk about that a little bit. And we just we just go from there. Before we get started, man, definitely hit that Patreon account, man, please, and thank you. You can support the show. All funds from the Patreon go back into the show, just keeping all the lights on, so to speak. We got a $3 level that allows you access to a members group chat, and also being able to suggest topics for SWAC Talk and SWAC Smoke. And then on our $5 level, you get those two perks, as well as being able to be a part of a members only, well, not necessarily members only, but being a part of a members roundtable live on SWAC Smoke. So definitely join that $5 level. You can be on SWAC Smoke and chop it up with us. That's gonna start happening at the end of on the last show of every month. So that definitely one of the things you want to take care of. Hit that Patreon, patreon.com/SWAC Talk. $3 level, $5 level, any support would be appreciated. Also hit the socials, Facebook is SWAC Talk, Instagram is SWAC Talk, Twitter, SWAC Talk 76. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. We're making the march to 1K. So please, please, please hit that subscription button if you haven't already. Like the video, share it, and feel free to hit that notification bell to be alerted to when any videos drop. Especially this week. This week is SWAC Talk week, man. I'm probably gonna drop like 4 videos this week. So definitely hit that notification bell. Got a big video coming at you tomorrow live, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. Southern University and SWAC GOAT running back Leonard Tillery will be in the house live tomorrow. So definitely don't miss that, man. We coming with heat, so don't miss it. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. Hit that notification bell so you know when it drop. You don't come in too late. Be like, well, I didn't know. Hit that notification bell, and you can catch that and any other things that we come with. So, because we're gonna be coming with a lot of heat, so don't miss it. So let's go ahead and get into this, man. MEAC versus SWAC. It ain't pretty. Shout out to BJ Jones. Y'all know him, man. He's a HBCU football guy that he knows a lot, man. He's well known in these HBCU streets. Played at Southern University, coached football various levels. Played in Canada. Guy that he know his stuff. So salute to BJ Jones. Definitely salute to him. He posted the other day. He posted a picture that showed the record between the MEAC and SWAC in matchups since 2000. So I decided I wanted to just kind of dive a little bit deeper into it and see, how many teams, how each team fared against the MEAC, and when were those matchups. So I did some digging. My numbers are slightly off from the numbers that they had. I have 3 too many wins. I don't know where those come from, and I have 1 too many loss. So, but I got about a 4-game difference between what they have on the graphic and what I found. It could be me. I'm not the best at mathematics all the time. And I might have missed a game, or I might have gave somebody a win when it should have been an L, not looking at the numbers correctly. So it could be user error, but it's a 4-game difference somewhere. I do know that I believe they counted North Carolina Central versus Southern as a MEAC matchup, but they weren't in the North Carolina Central wasn't in the MEAC at that point, so that doesn't count. Maybe a couple other games that here and there with teams leaving the MEAC team, you know, whatever. So not nothing made, not a huge difference. So it's definitely not a huge difference. So not enough to really really lose your mind about. And like I said, it's not pretty, man. The SWAC, per that graphic, the SWAC has 25 wins and 44 losses. Per my calculation, the SWAC has 28 wins and 45 losses. So again, not that big of a difference, but it's you know it's not pretty. That gives the SWAC a winning percentage of 38%. The SWAC is winning 38%, has won 38% of those games. That's not good. And like I said, that goes all the way back to the year 2000. That also includes the MEAC SWAC Challenge, where we're 10-5 in that matchup, and the Celebration Bowl where we're 1-6. So we're 5-10 against the MEAC in the MEAC SWAC Challenge, and we're 1-6 in the MEAC in the Celebration Bowl against the MEAC. So again, not good, man. You know, and that goes back to the inception of all that goes back to the inception of both of those games. So it's not pretty. The majority of the SWAC individually has losing records against the MEAC. Alabama A&M is 3-3 against the MEAC in that time span. They got victories over Hampton in 2009. South Carolina State, they beat them in the spring of 2021 and in the fall of 2021. They lost to Hampton in 2011, and they lost to South Carolina State in 2013 and North Carolina Central in 2014. Alabama State is 4-6 against the MEAC, with wins against FAMU in 2003, Howard in 2004, Savannah State in 2010. Although that may be the one that doesn't count. I believe they joined in 2010. Maybe their first year was until 2011. But Savannah State was a victim to Alabama State out of the MEAC, and then they beat Howard in the MEAC SWAC Challenge this past season. They lost to Bethune-Cookman in 2003, South Carolina State in 2005. They lost to FAMU and Bethune-Cookman in 2008. They lost to Bethune-Cookman in 2012 and South Carolina State in the spring of 2021. Alcorn is 2-5 against the MEAC in that time span, including one game that was basically a no contest because that game was not completed against Bethune-Cookman in 2016. So Alcorn picked up victories against Hampton in 2002 and North Carolina Central in 2004. They lost to Howard in 2004. They lost to Central. They lost to North Carolina A&T in the Celebration Bowl in 2015, 2018, and 2019, and then they lost to North Carolina Central in the MEAC SWAC Challenge in 2021. Grambling is 3-5 against the MEAC. They beat FAMU in 2000, Bethune-Cookman in 2004. They lost to Hampton in 2006. They lost to South Carolina State in 2009. They lost to Bethune-Cookman in 2014 and 2015. They beat North Carolina Central in the Celebration Bowl in 2016, and they lost to North Carolina A&T in the Celebration Bowl in 2017. Jackson State has the most matchups against the MEAC. They are 4-10 in that matchup. They beat Howard in 2000 and 2001. They beat FAMU in 2014 and 2018. They lost to North Carolina A&T in 2001. They lost to A&T in 2002 and 2003. They lost to FAMU in 2004. Excuse me. Let me run that back. They lost to A&T in 2001. They lost to A&T in 2002 and 2003. They lost to FAMU in 2003. They lost to Hampton in 04 and 05 as well as 08. They lost to Bethune-Cookman in 2019 in the MEAC SWAC Challenge. And then in the Celebration Bowl, they lost to South Carolina State and North Carolina Central. Valley is 1-5 with losses to South Carolina State in 2010, FAMU in 2013, Bethune-Cookman in 2018, Bethune-Cookman in 2019, and a victory over North Carolina Central in 2021. Prairie View is 2-1 against the MEAC. They have a victory over North Carolina A&T, and a loss to Bethune-Cookman, and a win over North Carolina Central in the MEAC SWAC Challenge in 2018. Southern is 7-4. Basically, that's by virtue of playing Florida A&M almost. Florida A&M is a long-standing was a non-conference rival for many, many years against Southern. So that's where the bulk of these matchups go. They beat FAMU in 2001. They beat North Carolina A&T in 2003. They beat Bethune-Cookman in 2006. Another victory over FAMU in 2007. Beat Delaware State in the MEAC SWAC Challenge in 2010. They beat South Carolina State in 2007 in the MEAC SWAC, 2017 in the MEAC SWAC Challenge, along with a victory in 2007's MEAC SWAC Challenge against FAMU. They lost to FAMU in 2000. They lost to FAMU in 2008. They lost to FAMU in 2011, and they lost to FAMU in 2019. Texas Southern is 2-4 against the MEAC. They beat Norfolk State in 2000. They lost to Howard in 2002. They beat Howard in 2003. Then they lost to Morgan in 2004, Howard in 2013, and FAMU in 2017. And Bethune-Cookman and UAPB is 0-3 against the MEAC with losses to Bethune-Cookman in 2004 and 2005, and South Carolina State in 2015. So that's pretty much the numbers for the SWAC. If you wanted to count Bethune-Cookman and FAMU when they joined the SWAC, Bethune-Cookman is 0-2 against the MEAC since they've been a SWAC member. Both losses are to South Carolina State in 21 and 22. FAMU is 2-0 against the MEAC in that span, with wins over South Carolina State in 2021 and 2022. So basically, like I said, that gives the SWAC a record of 28-14, not counting those 4 games between the new SWAC members. But again, not pretty, man. This is just, I mean, it doesn't matter what decade you look at. It's not pretty. The SWAC has just come up short. I mean, there's a few teams with not a lot of matchups against the MEAC, but for the most part, we just can't get over the hump. One thing I will say, in this time span, there was only one matchup against Morgan State, one matchup against Delaware State. The bulk of the matchups are obviously FAMU, North Carolina A&T, South Carolina State, and Bethune-Cookman. So only one matchup against Norfolk State in that time, in that frame too. So as you can see, the SWAC basically played 3 or 4 teams from the MEAC, and that's where the bulk of the work was done. I don't really have an answer why this is as it is. A lot of people, back and forth, why the Celebration Bowl is as lopsided as it is, and you can say the time off. You can say, the championship game for the SWAC. You can throw out any myriad of reasons why the SWAC doesn't win those games. But that doesn't give me an answer for the MEAC SWAC Challenge. And I don't really put a lot of stock into that kind of stuff. Yes, it matters. If you have more time off, you're fresher. But there's also more opportunity for rust. Maybe playing an emotional game a couple weeks before this game can make it hard for that game to be played at the same level. But the MEAC SWAC Challenge is a different beast to me. This is the first game. I mean, obviously it's the first game, so you're gonna have the kinks that you need to work out, but that goes for both teams. that goes for both teams, and it makes it hard to really figure out what the issue is. I mean, is it style of play? Are MEAC teams inherently more physical than SWAC teams? Do they play a less wide open style of play? I mean, because there was a period of time in the SWAC where the SWAC was really went away from the run game and was more pass oriented. It seemed like they're going back to more, at least more of a balanced attack on the ground and in the air. I don't know. Maybe those teams just enjoy playing SWAC teams. Maybe our teams don't feel the same way as MEAC teams feel when they match up against the SWAC. Maybe the MEAC has a chip on their shoulder because the SWAC, the SWAC gets a lot of attention. The SWAC, talks a lot. Maybe they just want to come out and bury those guys. But for whatever reason, you want to find it's such an uneven number that it's going to take a while to even the scale, and with not as many matchups every year, you're looking at 2 or 3 matchups a year, if that. So there's not a lot of opportunities other than the MEAC SWAC Challenge and the Celebration Bowl, which at some point the SWAC has to start winning these games to start to even the odds. Because a win here, a win there in the regular season, nobody really pays attention to that. I don't like to do ifs and ands. You take this out, you take that out. But if you were to take those 16 losses that the SWAC has to the MEAC in MEAC SWAC Challenge and Celebration Bowl, if you were to take those 16 losses away, you're looking at 29 losses. I mean, that's still a lot, but you're looking at 29 losses, and if you take those 6 wins away that we have in that matchup, you're looking at 22 wins. You still got a losing record, but not as bad. In non-MEAC SWAC Challenge matchups, the SWAC is 22-29. Still not a winning record, but not as bad. So still not pretty, but not that ugly. That's 43% winning percentage, still under 500. No matter what you take away, no matter what you add. It's not pretty, man. So it's like, even if you were to take the Celebration Bowl and the MEAC SWAC Challenge away, we're still only winning 43% of the matchups. So it's still not pretty, and it's gonna it's just gonna take a concerted effort to schedule these games and win these games, and you must start to win these 2 premier matchups between the 2 teams, between the 2 conferences. There's no other way to put it. I mean, the SWAC doesn't even have a winning streak in the MEAC SWAC Challenge. So that the wins are spaced out, and that's the wins are just are just spaced out. There's just no other way to put it. I mean, Alabama State wins in 2022. The last win before that was in 2018. Before that, we do have a 2-game winning streak. Okay, I'm corrected. We have a 2-game winning streak between 2017 and 2018. This should not be funny, but it is to me, because it's just if you don't laugh, you cry. Other than that, we went from 2010 with a win, and the next win was in 2017. So just could that Alcorn Bethune-Cookman game have been Alcorn's victory? We'll never know. But that's still not even enough to sway the tide. it's just, you know, any way you look at these matchups, we had teams ranked twice in this matchup, and MEAC had a couple of ranked teams in this matchup, including actually both times the teams were ranked in this matchup. So who knows, man? It's just one of those, you know, it's just one of those head scratching things. And I don't know how this is gonna change. You know, I mean, other than, you know, ripping off a bunch of wins, starting this season in the MEAC SWAC Challenge. We don't have a lot of MEAC matchups. Anyway, other than that, I don't know, man. I'm at a loss for words on how to fix this. Hey, I'm just lost, man. So, but I'm gonna leave it at that. Like I said, man, the numbers ain't pretty, and they'll probably never not be pretty. And we just have, you know, we just got to take it brick by brick and start to win some of these games, starting with the MEAC SWAC Challenge and the Celebration Bowl and any other matchups we have. You know, it's imperative that we start to win these and lose less. These two teams, these two conferences, they seem like they're night and day. I mean, you know, the SWAC's more stable. You would think the SWAC would pick up more wins, but it hasn't come. It hasn't come to fruition. So that's gonna do it for today's show, man. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna even go no further than that. Like I said, tomorrow, big show. Lennar Artillery, Southern University, GOAT running back and SWAC all-time leader in Russia will be in the house tomorrow. So make sure y'all check that out. 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, live on SWAC Talk. SWAC Smoke coming at you this week. Also 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. Probably have another edition of SWAC Talk coming on Wednesday and maybe one on Friday. Lot of SWAC Talk coming at you this week. Got a lot of time on my hands, so gonna be dropping some videos for you this week. With that being said, man, I'm C Wells, your tour guide around the SWAC. Signing out. Yeah, make sure y'all subscribe and hit that notification bell, and we'll catch y'all on the rebound. Peace.